All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Graham. I'm type 1.5 diabetic. And the reason it's 1.5 is because it's not type 2, it's not type 1. I'm a little in between. Short version is I'm on my way to becoming a full-blown type 1 diabetic, but I'm not there yet. And I'm trying to reverse it. So this is a video vlog of my journey. And so I'm gonna start my day here in Los Angeles, like I start every day with my meter here. So I'm gonna take my blood, and this is I always play this game where I try to guess what it's gonna be. And even though I do have a continuous glucose monitor, it can be off by 20 points, sometimes 30, even though it's not supposed to. So you don't really know what you have until you take your blood. All right, what do you think it's going to be? What do you think? What do you think? Ooh, I hope that's not right. 144. That's way high for me. Usually, so I did just eat. I had breakfast. I shouldn't have been metabolized it all the way. So now what I'm going to do is wash my hands to make sure I didn't have anything sweet on it. No sugar. And we're just doing the full tour. This is the kitchen. So yeah, yesterday I had a doctor's visit, or over Skype, I guess. I don't know if that counts. And had some good news and some bad news. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So I've been doing lots of things and always saying I'm going to start my vlog, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then months would go by and didn't do it. So I'm just going to do it. It's going to be raw, unedited live streams. But it'll capture what's going on in the moment. And, I'm pretty busy, so I don't have time to do a lot of editing. So that's the way it's going to get done. It's just the way it's going to be, guys. So, testing a new finger now. This used to scare me. Sometimes it still hurts a little bit, but. All right. Lower or higher? That's the question. Lower, but still a little on the high end, 130. So I got to work on that. Did start a little bit high because I tried a carb blocker last night. That I wanted some beans and chips, and those have a fair amount of carbs for me. And so usually I don't do those unless I'm going to work out afterwards. But I took on a carb blocker, did my normal 50 jumping jacks. That keeps me in a good range, and it didn't quite help. So my pancreas was working all night, producing insulin till like 5 in the morning until I got back to my 80s normal level. So I probably didn't have my phase 1 insulin response, which is why my medication, or my not diabetes medication, it's mold medication. I'll get into that in a different video. And my breakfast probably has me up so high. So anyway, that's not a good start to a day. But let's talk about good news. So good news was we measured a lot of factors in my blood in April, and then again in December last week. And one of the things we measured was the GAD antibodies, GAD antibodies, and they were in April. They were so high that they were off the charts. Like literally, they just didn't measure anything that high. So it said 250 plus. So we don't know if it was 1,000, 251, 10,000. We don't know, which is kind of frustrating. But and so the normal range is 0 to 5, right? So 0, you don't have any infections, your immune system isn't doing anything. 5 is you might be fighting something, like a cold, I guess. So mine was over 250, so really high. So type 1 is an autoimmune disease, so they think, that's your immune system attacking your pancreas. So then, we've been doing a series of things. I'll get into bit by bit over these videos. And last week, my GAD antibodies was measured at 151, which is really good. I mean, it's significantly less. So I'm doing a lot of things at once to try to get rid of it. And so something or a combination of things is working, which is really good. And so what I'm going after is the cause of the immune system flipping out, which is maybe causing my type 1 diabetes. So it looks like we're somehow addressing the cause, which is perfect. That's what we want to do. We still have a lot of work to do, obviously, but we can probably keep on this road with some confidence. And then, so that's good news. I worked really, really hard and put a lot of faith in things I didn't understand or didn't know, or to get that to happen. So it's good that it's paying out, and then bad news, not really that bad, but it's not good. So let's see, the bad news is I dropped in my iron levels. So there's something called, let me bring up my actual notes here real quick. Excuse me while I type. So there's, I forget what it's called, something with an F. There we go. Ferritin. So ferritin is your stored iron. And so my iron level went from normal levels to at the low boundary of normal. So it's like almost abnormal. It's right on the boundary. So something in my iron level is not right. And it could be potentially blood loss or from an ulcer or something. So that's alarming a little bit. So we're going to do some tests to figure out what's going on there. And then there's some other things that have been low, like my magnesium, which is still a little bit low. And magnesium is supposed to be really helpful. So working on that. I am already taking supplements for it, but we got to revisit that. So anyway, that's I think that's the gist of the good news, bad news for today. I'm gonna try to keep these videos short. So I'm just going over my notes one last time. Oh yeah, so when I did my my test last week, I also did a glucose tolerance test. And so what that measures is how your body responds to sugar that you eat. And it measures the insulin that you produce. And so we measured that, and that was a little bit higher at some points and a little bit lower at some points. It was a little bit bad and a little bit good. So it's kind of a mixed. It was different. And we did switch up the type of glucose that I took, which could be the cause. So I went from something that was highly variable, like we had plant-based pancakes. And so I wanted something more constant so that we can measure, my body more accurately, my body's response. So I did what is called dextrose, which is basically sugar. And so they had 75 milligrams of sugar, dextrose, and I went up really high, like 285 at the peak, and then it went down. It went up real high and down real low, because I guess I still had insulin in my body, and so I felt hypo at the end of that, which is really strange. So I usually don't go hypo at all because I do a whole food plant-based diet and no insulin, and I exercise. And so I don't have anything pushing my blood sugars down. So it's kind of a natural, almost hypo. So, and it was just for a few minutes because I'd just eaten, and then I felt hypo because my blood sugars were still going down before I metabolized my food. It's kind of interesting. So I got to pig out on things I usually am not allowed to eat. And by pig out, I mean not really, like a couple handfuls. Okay, so that's a little bit of the review of the good news, bad news from my Dr. Youngberg call yesterday. And I'll be checking in hopefully on a regular basis. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I'll try to get back to you in a timely manner. Other than that, have a good day and enjoy every day, because it might be your last. Is that a nice ominous way to end my stream? What's my sign off? I don't know.